So let's have a little chat about the Abramelin. I guess it's the most infamous book out there, and the ritual. And the ritual is the same for everyone. So I don't think that, since we all have a different holy guardian angel and some wants to connect to the holy dame and whatever way you use it for. So what my friends and others had, I didn't get that response from, not this book. I had the mattress back in the day in the 80s. And it was the 6 months ritual. This is the 18 months, how it should be done. So I like to really read a book, and it was short and there were missing pages, so I didn't get everything from the start, like the age thing. I was under 25, and this book states that you should be between 25 and 50, but since I had the mattress copy that were duct taped together and so on, so you do what you have to do, and I guess it was time for me, since life was already crazy and I needed to connect to my HGH. And Michael knew what I was up to, so it wasn't just that I went straight ahead and did this. It was more like I did it for getting a stronger connection to the Holy Guardian Angel and God. And my interpretation from this book is quite different from Crowley's. And old woman with glasses. So I'm going to read out what I concentrated on, and this is in helping other people. I read a quote here. So know, my son, I studied the art because of my love for the wisdom of Adonai and to serve my neighbor, out of our curiosity, not out of curiosity or amusement. I have never used these stars to satisfy curiosity or for unimportant or degrading things, let alone bad or harmful things. And then there's the second, because God does not show anyone his art or wisdom to keep for themselves. It is to be used to give blessing to others who need examples to be of use and of help. And that was something I got out. Many don't even read that statement. They go straight into a ritual. So I started off with that I wanted to serve. And then the book also contains like how to help when there is famine, and I'm not into witchcraft, so I don't, and this is much like folk magic, and I think it's mixed up in Kabbalah in every country in Europe at least. And it is quite a simple life, since you don't partake in gossip or slandering. You celebrate the Sabbath, or Christians, it is written in this book as well, Christians celebrate on Sundays and Jews on Saturdays, so it's straightforward. And I think that a Muslim would celebrate it on a Friday. So there is that, but there is also that you need to do it practically. You don't just do it in an astral plane. You really set out and you live. If you're married, you can have sex, otherwise you can't have sex, and so on. So you are really in a purified state. And you follow the book as best as you can. Nobody did have the ingredients, at least not in Finland or Sweden, for the Abramelin incense. We had to create our own and substitute there, since many of the things comes from Africa, and there was a ban to import things from Africa for a while, and so there is always that. So you have to make the best what you can do. And then there's the prayers, and it is in the last days when you start to pray to connect. But it is like it's a lifestyle, and I accepted this lifestyle of this book. So I still practice it even if I did the ritual. So I set you talk to your holy guardian angel once a week at least during prayer, and I do everything in the morning straight away at sunrise. There are different ways to do these things, and but the thing is that you keep on doing it. And if I would live in some other place, in some other country, I might have to do it on a different hour, or. And I also, my interpretation was, since I do it my way, why I do the fasting, that I never eat for at least 14 hours before I do my prayers, and then I wash my teeth and rinse my mouth and wash your face and all that. And this is because you should also purify your tongue. So when you cleanse yourself, it's not only to washing up, it is more like a ritual purification to wash your teeth and that sort of thing as well. And here's what I often wonder, if anybody of those who have done I don't think you can use magic of God and then be disrespectful of him and use blasphemy, and then to say that you have done the Abramelin. If you don't have any regards for God and you use it in blasphemy, you can't really get that. And like here, it says quite straightforward that if you work for God and demons appear, it is disrespectful of them to show themselves as in a way that is gross. So when they talk about these horrific things, looking and being disrespectful and smelling bad, and they can't get rid of them, that's when I start to think they haven't done the real thing. They done a short variation from something with psychedelics or stronger, and they didn't search for God. They went straightly to command demons, and that don't. So I can't tell how it feels like, since I follow this. So, but that also gives you that the spirits live by their own accord, and this book states it as well. As soon as you are done, you say they want to leave. They don't want to be near you, the demons. And when they appear, they come in with more respect. And you only have a hazel wand, or what wand you have, and or almond, or depending on which country or where you can find a living tree and what, or some nut tree. And so I think that magic goes, and I don't think you ever can undo it. And this book is said to have the most bad reputation, but it's more of some practitioners who have used it against blasphemy, and then they write these books about how powerful they are and they can command all things, and it doesn't come from. So I don't think they are really connected to their holy guardian angel. They are using that they are gods. But my view of the Bible is in Genesis, God created the angels first because of man, and they just interpret that God, man was made in God's image. So that's before they are divine and can control all demons. So this is like a clash like that. But so sometimes I often wondered I know there are others like me who done it just to get connected to God or the holy guardian angel, and not at all the black god thing, but as a spiritual connection to grow, to learn, to bring peace, wanting to protect people, wanting to when there's famine and there is no food, you can take anything and write a little bit and ask for food to appear, and those things sort of things to grow and to try to help and heal and protect and to stop war, stop people who abuse other or something. So it isn't about getting rich. It isn't about and this is the beginning of everything. Once you connect to your holy guardian angel, after that you get the holy guardian angel can stop you and put a lid on you, so you can't really evolve. You can lie to yourself that you are evolving and growing and doing a lot of things, but you are now connected to your holy guardian angel, so you can't make yourself invisible and just suddenly. Of course, you can dismiss your holy guardian angel and call upon your holy daemon and be blasphemous, but don't imagine that the spirits will act in the same way once you break the hierarchy that you have committed to. And the ritual itself, since it was like initiation for me to grow closer, to learn, to understand, and I think it plays out every day in my life. And like when people ask, why don't you cast curses and so on? Why should I? So if you're wanting to serve and help others and doing it from that place within you, then I guess you might have a similar experience to me, maybe. That you really wanted to help people. It wasn't for your own. So it's not the book that is evil. It's sometimes people are evil who use ancient knowledge to gain control over others, and but when you go in with that that you want the power to control others and that things, you are connecting to your holy daemon or your holy demon or whatever. Many wants to just connect to their demons, so they don't even. So that's I guess when it really goes wild and you have these horrific experiences with the hauntings, curses, everything going. It is painful. Since when you gain wisdom, you see all the flaws you have ever done in your life and you start to take responsibility for them, and then it isn't really. And it breaks you. The more you learn about the truth about yourself, the more painful it gets. And what is it? It is over nearly 4. Oh my God, it's nearly 40 years ago. I'm getting old. But anyhow, so you can follow the, what are they called? The Thelema, Aleister Crowley things and all those things and get maybe the chaotic results he got, or you can follow this book and really wanting to connect to God with the want to serve and have the there is the power thing again, but this time you want the power to help others, not to help yourself. So that's why I can't really answer to those questions when people ask me about, have they appeared in the horrific form and everything like that. And yes, I had demonic attacks, but I had them before Abramelin as well. So that was the part of life I was born into with my aunt. Her way of seeing things to babysit was to call upon some demon and then she told me I was maybe 3 to 6 years old. There's a demon watching over you, and she left me down there alone, locked me in a room with a demon, so I couldn't do anything. And that was her thing of looking after a kid. So there was this thing that there was never a choice for me to do anything else, since I started to say no as a 3-year-old, and after 6 I refused. So there was that thing that also happened, and the friends who did the Abramelin at the same time, they used the big H drug, and that went sour. And I also did this since they had already started, so I felt that in order to be able to help them in any way, I had to do it. So even though I didn't do the last binding, since I didn't set up to get those familiars, I wanted to have the the angels can connect you to whatever when you're needed, or to command anyway. You don't have to have an altar and feed your familiars for that. So if the challenge comes up and there's a threat, the angels tell me about it. I don't have to. And they usually take care of it, and I just wonder, what was that? And I still don't know why Molech appeared. Politely, as I said, they can be quite polite once you... That's the thing, that if you work... My belief is that, and we are all different and we have different understandings of who God is, but since nothing helped in my childhood, and then I prayed to God, Christ didn't work, so I was analytical. That didn't work. To ask, please help me, that didn't work at all. Then I went in and learned Our Father and started that way, and that's when it started to happen. So that was my story. And if you come from other background, you might be Jewish or Muslim, and if you don't believe in anything of God, then you must know who your creator is, or Sophia, or you must have your own understanding of what God means to you. And if he isn't the God who fits you, there is other magic you can do. I don't think that you could just start asking any pagan deity and put this ritual and use the names for that. You can always copy magic and apply it on something else, but you can't really. The power in Enochian magic, it's the angels. And to connect to an angel, you need God. So, since angels worship God, so So that is a whole different pantheon, and if you don't want to work with that way, there is so much magic you can do that don't involve everything. So you don't have to go ahead and do this, and I wouldn't do it unless you have some knowledge of God and are prepared to read the Bible, learn the Bible, and your understanding of the Bible and rules. It is just like me, I learn every day. It's just like when I flip through the Bible, I understand things differently, and that is something that I think the religious leaders have lost on. They read it like this is how it should be, and there is their understanding and nobody else's. And since they've written a book about it, so their writing and understanding of the book is the law, not the Bible itself. So, and then I want to talk about a great channel, Cleveland Live Music. I'm going to link him before. He even played music backwards. And I'm a fan of Led Zeppelin, and I love Stairway to Heaven. And he has the music with Jimmy Page, and when Abramelin was on the top, he has the music, and he has this archive of recordings where TV stations ask him for archives. And so he's like collected and filmed himself, I think, and so on. And built up this archive that when they don't have something, they call him, and I'm going to put him in here, so check out his channel. And if you comment on his videos, you might make a request. Maybe he plays something backwards to you. But since this is my channel, you better be polite and gracious, since he's have so much wonderful music, and I like him, and I love his channel. So if you mess with him, you mess with me. So that was all for now. And every time I listen to music or YouTube, there's something from his channel that pops up, since we like the same kind of music. Let's say that music feeds my soul. Whenever I'm sad or whatever it is, I always find music that lifts me up. It isn't that I'm a holy person and only sit and pray. And no, I do my rituals because I'm committed, and I want to help people, and I want to keep the gates open, and that is my dedication of love to do that. So, and my sole purpose has always been done since I dedicated myself as 6-year-old. So it's a part of my life. It is me always doing the rituals. But then there is the other me who don't do magic and think about magic, and who fills the soul with music, since I love music. I can't think about life without music. So, and I love that he has these audios where they are filmed live. So that was all for now, and have a magical day. Bye for now.